What's up, Game Boys and Girls? Big T here, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to explore the question I've had in my mind for some time, years. When will the Wii get its due? Now, we all know the Wii launched in November of 2006 to pretty much commercial success all right from the beginning. But a lot of, quote unquote, hardcore of the gaming section didn't like it as much. Some of that maybe had to do with just the audience that was on the Wii, because you had soccer moms and grandpas and grandmas playing it. But I've said many times before that the Wii still had a fantastic library, one of the best of Nintendo's history, and it just doesn't get the credit for that. But not only that, it gets dismissed, especially during the time it came out, because it was much less powerful than the other consoles, 360 and PS3, and it was mired in the idea of just boundless shovelware. Now there is a lot of shovelware on the Wii, but it's not as much as people like to make it out to be, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Wii uses this weird controller, the Wiimote, and the Wii Motion Plus, and I think a lot of people just kind of look at motion controls, even now, even though they're kind of a standard. People just look at motion controls as kind of a rinky-dink, non-real gamer type of thing, and I'm like, I beg to differ. There are a lot of people that will school you using a Wiimote in a first-person shooter or something like that, a competitive game like that. Now, it's not great for everything, because some games would try to shoehorn it, Wiimote stuff, into traditional games that shouldn't really have it. But they're games that, like light gun games, that are just perfect for the Wiimote, and obviously, like I said, first-person shooters are great for that. And you can just come up with some really cool, like, point-and-click adventure type of stuff, like with Zack and Wiki. Quest for Barbaros Treasure. That game is excellent. It is a perfect example of them taking the idea of what the controller can do and just implementing and making a game kind of built around it. And that's, the potential that the Wii had. And there are a ton of games that had great use of the Wii remote and nunchuck. So, including first party games. So I'm just wondering, because there are tons, like I said, there's tons of just core games on the Wii that, for whatever reasons, people just missed out on, didn't really pay attention to. They were too busy playing Wii Sports and Wii Play, and Mario Kart, Smash, just the bigger games, and just kind of missing out on some of that smaller stuff. Some of that stuff that came from the PS2, some of those RPGs like Arc Rise Fantasia, Baroque, I believe, is one of them. There's just some really cool stuff, and then some more of the games I kind of looked at just as being a Sony games, like Manhunt and stuff like that. But the best way to play, in my opinion, the best way to play Resident Evil 4 to this day is the Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. That is, to me, hands down the best way to play it, because the controls are so much better to me using the Wii remote. So yeah, I'm just wondering when, because eventually, stuff that's looked down on at the time gets looked highly of. Dreamcast at the time, there was like really hardcore people that loved the Dreamcast, but for the most part, a lot of people just didn't care about the Dreamcast. Obviously, if you look at its sales, same thing with Saturn. Saturn, a fantastic console that got its due much later. And that seems to happen with later Sega consoles. Obviously, Dreamcast also got its due. And I'm wondering when people will come around, if ever, to the Wii, and accept it for the cool stuff that it did have. Like I was saying, there are a lot of good core titles, and it had some really good, fantastic action platformers, action kind of mascot type of games. Like the Core Gang is one of my favorite all-time mascot action platformers. Also, what's the one I'm thinking of? Oh my gosh, what is the name of it? Mushroom Man. Mushroom Man is so stupid good. Like, it is a really good action platformer game with some really clever puzzles, some really funny dialogue, and all that stuff. Like, I need to do a hidden gems video, and that's what I'm gonna do that eventually for the Wii. And I've kind of done something similar to that, but not really, like, really touched on how cool of the library that the Wii had, and just talked about, because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people just dismissed it because of motion controls. Right now, we're going through this whole thing of Skyward Sword HD actually being good, even though a lot of people just didn't really like it back in the day. But apparently, a lot of it. I mean, I say apparently, but I kind of knew that too. Was that a lot of people didn't like the motion controls of it, which that game was built around the motion controls, and it wasn't like waggle stuff. It was really smartly implemented, and so for me, I could never. I can't see how they can successfully map those motions to a analog stick. It's just not intuitive enough for me. But I mean, I'm glad the game is getting more shine. But I don't. To me, I don't. For that game specifically, I don't feel like it's just the motion controls. There's other issues. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But the Wii, like I said, has some fantastic core titles that were coming out on the other systems as well. Obviously, lesser versions. I'm thinking like Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop, I think it's called. Like, it has way less enemies on screen, that type of stuff. It's the same game, but not really the same because of stuff like that. It also had all the Call of Duties. It didn't have all the bells and whistles at sometimes, and like all DLC and stuff. But it was the full-on games that you got on the other consoles, which a lot of people are frustrated about because it's like, well, Switch. Why isn't Switch getting Call of Duties, right? Like, because obviously the Wii wasn't as powerful as the 360 and the PS3, but it still got Call of Duties. So why isn't Switch getting? I really don't know. I don't know. I fully expected that to happen, especially with the Switch being as successful as the Wii. But that hasn't happened, and the Wii didn't have to wait till it was 100 million strong before those games were coming. Those games are coming pretty early. So I don't know what's up with third parties this generation specifically, but yeah, you should explore, and I will do, like I said, do a video talking about all the cool Wii games that maybe you missed. Wii was great for puzzle games. I don't know if you're into that, but I really am into puzzle games, puzzle platformers as well. And the Wii remote and nunchuck was great for puzzle and stuff. So it just worked perfectly for that. And it was like, the virtual console was amazing. The channels and stuff that was happening with the Wii was great. People talk about them, but there was some really cool stuff going on with that. And I think, but I still feel like the Wii hasn't gotten its due just yet. Maybe it will soon. I've noticed that some of the Wii games are actually going up in price. So for other reasons, GameCube, N64, and Wii games are going up. Wii not as much. Specific games. There's some more obscure titles on there, like Opuna, that I saw going up. So I think I want to do a video on that and other stuff. So yeah, I just wonder, what do you think? Do you think the Wii will ever get its due? Do you care? Maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't think it deserves its due. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you can get more cool videos like this. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And thank you for watching and listening. And see you fools next time. Peace out.